YouTube, what's happening? It's two of your favorite black nerds that can get a little street if we need to. You know what I'm saying? Ain't that right, Larry? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's
right.
me, Lamont Tyson. It's that living legend, Larry. How you doing tonight, brother?
Man, I'm doing fine, man. I just had a nice steak and some spinach. I'm doing good.
Damn, you gonna fall asleep up here tonight, my brother? Don't fall asleep. What they say, we get the itis and stuff, man.
You don't get the itis, eat good and get the itis.
Yeah, man. Brother be up here. I'd be like, Larry, you see what She-Hulk did? He up there. He done disappeared on me like Banner did. Oh man. Wow. So Larry, while we let the people get an opportunity to join the live, of course I gotta hit you with this week's this or that Marvel style. Are you ready for this one, Big Larry?
Let's do it.
Okay. So in the essence of this episode, this is She-Hulk attorney at law. Okay. So what we're going to do is get rid of her and supplant you as the attorney at law that's got to vindicate these people who have a legitimate case for not being villains, but also is questionable which person has the wheel. And I'll make that case when we talk about Blonsky and Abomination. I'll make that case. But for you, Larry, you had a job with GLK. And they said, there's two people we need you to represent. You got to pick one or the other one, okay? You either have to represent Wanda need to get her ass in jail or you need to represent Thanos. Which one you taking and why?
Well, considering that everybody's all about the green stuff right now, everybody's all about the environment, I'm gonna have to go with Thanos because Thanos is basically an environmentalist. He's been worried about overpopulation and resources across the different universes, and so he's just worried that there won't be enough for people to survive. And so that was his whole motivation behind the snap. He was like, "There's too much. There's too many people. There's not enough resources for everybody. We're all gonna die if we don't if we keep on this pace." And so I feel like Thanos' whole motivation falls right in line with all the current green people, all the current environmentalist stuff. So I feel like it would be a lot easier to deal with that.
Okay, see, I'm gonna let you be the defense attorney. I'm the district attorney in this. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you just heard this man's opening statements about why he wants to represent Thanos, ladies and gentlemen. A man who slaughtered civilizations beyond just Earth, okay? A man who killed people for some damn rocks that go in a glove. He killed people for jewels only to turn around and snap his finger and destroy half of all existence. Earth's alternate universes. Oh, excuse me. The multiverse don't count. It was Earth 316. So everything in the 316 universe.
What
Thanos
about the 616?
Excuse me, 616. I'm sorry. In the 616, Thanos destroyed it. He would rather represent him, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. He would rather represent a man that did that and then try to scapegoat it by saying he's an environmentalist. Ladies and gentlemen, I have not met a tree hugger yet that wants to see a tree die on any planet, ladies and gentlemen. His argument has no merit. He's willing to let this guy play God because that's what he did. And ladies and gentlemen of this courtroom, I am not having it. I'm not going to let him play God. He would have been better to represent Wanda, who was a true environmentalist. She was trying to protect her borders and encapsulate people so that the bad folks can't get in. I rest my case.
You mean after she brainwashed everybody inside of her border? Is that what you're talking about?
But she
you're talking about as she enslaved them? As Wanda turned people in, Wanda might as well be on the plantation. She had slaves. She had a whole city of slaves. She had people doing everything she wanted them to do. She had people acting like they were in sitcoms and running around doing talent shows and all kinds of craziness. Then she created herself a fake husband and created herself some fake kids and I mean the woman took. I mean, I'm sorry. I know murder's not right, but I think I'm down with murder before I'm down with slavery.
Now, if you look at Wanda and what she did on her show, Wanda encapsulated their minds, but at least she let them have good dreams. Now, this is me sounding like a slave master. Yes, they were slaves, but my slaves enjoyed being on my lands. I took care of them. I fed them. I gave them names. I gave them last names. And I let them have children. I let them have sex. And you would rather these people die than to be living the life that Wanda dreams put in their head, fulfilling the dreams that they want. You'd rather represent Thanos.
Yes. I'll tell you, if I had to go in and represent anybody in Wanda's world, I think I'd rather represent Agatha. You know.
Okay. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, post your comments down below as we do our version of this or that. Who would you rather represent and why? Thanos or Wanda? Who are you more afraid of? Me personally, I'm a lot more afraid of Wanda than I am Thanos. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I am more afraid of Wanda too, and that's part of the reason why I don't want to be on her radar. I feel like if she doesn't know you exist, you're probably safer.
Yeah.
Because if you represent her and you get it wrong, representing Wanda is like representing a cartel person. You can, if you win, everything's golden. But if you lose,
All right, my brother. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you all coming in the building. Please give us a thumbs up, share our video, let everybody know there is a place where us African Americans and others can talk about Marvel and put our own spins on it. We are Black nerds and we enjoy doing so, and we are here to talk this good talk. Larry, we cannot start this review out without talking about. I feel like you should be happy about the stance of this particular character. He has a greater argument to make than what Killmonger ever had to make for Wakanda. Take a look at this and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, because they pumped me full of that super soldier serum.
Serum the government gave you caused your subsequent actions?
I was a highly decorated soldier. You know, I was sent on a mission to take out a threat. And I thought I was the good guy. I thought I was going to be, you know, Captain Bloody America. Very threat, your cousin is held up as some kind of hero.
Now, Larry, he makes a legitimate point. He really does. He makes a legitimate point. He was hired by the government. Not only by the government, he was hired by the daughter. He was hired by the father of the daughter of Banner's girlfriend.
Yeah.
Let's not forget that. In the first Incredible Hulk that really started the MCU, okay? Y'all keep trying to say it was Iron Man. No, it was not. It was the first Incredible Hulk in 2008, and they just happened to get rid of Edward Norton. I like them playing Hulk, but I mean, I'm cool with my man now. I'm cool with old boy now. It's all good. But Larry, he made a legitimate case. Now, how can you tell me that the case he made is wrong?
Man, I'm not going to say that it is. And you know, it's interesting. While they have the whole, you know, that video that came out, I'm not trying to jump ahead too much, but the video that came out, I feel like she could have easily defended against that and said he was made to be there. He didn't escape anything. He was taken out and he was taken out of his current place and forced to do these things.
How do you not know that she's not going to argue that, which was going to be one of my points, Larry? But then I got another point when we get there that I'm going to make about that too. I mean, she could say that was an issue where Wanda and people with magical powers just came and opened up a damn pie circle and took his ass in. That's easy. That's easy. It's slam dunk. And then there's another case she can make that probably is even better, and I'll make that case when we get there. So, my brother Larry, let's take this one from. Go ahead. You
know, you were mentioning about Hulk being the first coming through this, you know, the whole MCU thing, and I'm thinking to myself, it's so interesting that they brought in all these other people, but like when you start talking about the Avengers and all the superhero stuff, it was like the Fantastic Four were the first ones to really show up in the comics, and we haven't even seen a recent movie of them. Like the one we saw wasn't even part of the MCU. They didn't even have the MCU when they first came out with that, and we haven't seen them since, except for that little clip, that little blurb in Doctor Strange. But yeah, that was
coming. They coming. Don't worry. They coming. Shout out to D Stizzle coming over from E-Man Stream. I appreciate you. We're going to keep this conversation going. All the great comments you guys have, please post them. We'll try to get to reading some of them as we do our review and drop down theories and go over some of the Easter eggs. So let's take this thing from the top. In the very beginning, Larry, they just talk about what happened in the courtroom with Titania and how the She-Hulk was able to save the situation. Now, Larry, she lost her job over that situation. Yeah. But did you hear the excuse for why Titania was acting crazy, beating in the courtroom?
Because she was in traffic court.
No,
it?
No, because she had low blood sugar. Look at that.
Oh, extreme cancel. I didn't catch that.
Yeah, man. That's what you got me for.
I was listening. They said Titania had come over and she was in traffic court, and I figured she just didn't want her ticket, or
No, she had traffic court. Yes, she was on her way to traffic court, but she started wigging out because she had a case of low blood sugar. Damn,
that is crazy. I guess somebody needs to keep a Snickers in their pocket if she's around.
Yeah, what kind of villain is she? You know what I'm saying? I mean, her weakness already. You just keep her away from anything that tastes sweet, and her ass is in trouble. That's all you got to do to beat her. But Larry,
I mean, think about Flash. All you have to do is starve him out, and he doesn't have enough energy to keep going.
Yep, that's right. She's gonna be back in around episode 5, my people. So if you like her and you remember her from the comics, they're gonna bring her back. And like I told you guys last week, one of the reasons she hates Jen so much is because Jen and She-Hulk is the new it girl around LA. She's not the it girl, and on this show, her role is to be a social media maven. And right now, Jen is taking all the limelight from her. But Larry, Jen lost her job. They threw her a She-Hulk party. We even had the newscaster interviewing the black dude outside, wanting to know what the name is going to be, and they just pop up with She-Hulk. So now they throw a She-Hulk party, my brother, and the pandemonium, you can cut it with a knife. Everybody loves her. She turns into She-Hulk, 6'7", 290 pounds of twist and steel and green sex appeal. She goes into the bar. They get in her drinks, and we find out she's fired. And Larry, the girl gets fired. Think about this. Think about this. They fired the girl because she saved the jury. And the jury felt like it was wrong for her to save them. Talk to me about that, Larry. What the hell is up with that?
Well, no, the thing is that, and this whole thing, at being the son of an attorney whose mother was also a former DA.
Right.
My first thought was, you can't fire her like that, because you just don't. First of all, she's a government employee, which means there's all kinds of processes you have to go through before you can fire someone as a government employee. But 2, she didn't do anything wrong. You might have to take her. Maybe she can no longer become a trial attorney, or maybe she can no longer sit first chair. Maybe she has to be she'll be an attorney doing something else, or maybe she sits second chair. But you can't just straight up fire her. You can't do that. But the other thing is,
especially not in LA.
Yeah. The other thing is, which is sort of demeaning. He was like, "Can you go back to regular Jen? This is a serious conversation." I was like, "What the?" I was like, "Damn, that was some serious talking down to someone right there."
No, you know what that was, Larry? That was a case of my manhood feels threatened while you're agreeing. Your penis is bigger than mine. That's what that was, Larry. He feels threatened with her being green and bigger than him, but when she's meager little Jen, he feels like he has the upper hand and he can beat his chest a little bit. if I was Jen, but Jen is too sweet to do this. I'd be like, no, I'm not turning in anything. Right. If you feel like we're not eye to eye, well, here, let me pick you up real quick.
Right. But you know, the other thing with the jury is that it wasn't the jury had a problem with her saving them. It was the fact that because she had saved the jury, the defense team made the argument that they would be unfairly biased towards her.
Hung jury. So it was a hung jury.
So they they ended up getting that mistrial because of it. But
right.
You know, it was I'll tell you, the way they dropped some stuff in there, boy, like the whole thing that I thought the dude was really just talking down to her in that moment when he said, "Can you switch back?" But the other dude that works with them, that dude is a piece of work. He said, "There's some girl, there's some hot chick over there or something." He said, "I'm gonna go talk to it." I said, "Damn!"
Right. I
was like, "Go talk to it." I was like, "Man."
But Larry, keep in mind, Marvel don't do little stuff like that for nothing. It could be one of the space girls that came from outer space or something, you know? Because don't forget your boy in Guardians of the Galaxy was having a love romance in the first one with some pink something kind of girl that was not of this earth. So, you know, maybe he didn't mean it in a disrespectful manner. Maybe it is really something that is it.
Yeah, it could be. Could be something else then, you know?
Right. It
definitely could be something else. So
they go there. She's devastated. She's worried about her work. She even talked about being an attorney. She's carrying all this damn debt. Shout out to the Biden administration freeing up people who make less than $120,000 a year. He's going to free up $20,000 of student loan debt. Shout out to him for doing that, lifting the burden on the middle class and poor, the way a government like this should work. And she was talking about healthcare and all the things she couldn't have. You know,
for people out there with the student loan debt, though, I think the even more important thing is that he reduced the cap. So now it's going to be the payments are capped at 5% of your income. So none of this stuff where you all of a sudden have to pay $800, $900 in student loan payments every month. That's going to get capped. That's really nice.
That's good. But ladies and gentlemen, it was only an executive order. Hopefully a Dem will get in there that supports this mission and keeps it, because if not, goodbye in the next election. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the man who's going to put me and Larry to shame with that sweet bass baritone voice. I don't know why he's not a solid gold singer. It's the big homie from Just My Opinion Reviews, Brandon Keith Avery. What's going on, my brother?
Hello. How y'all doing?
Well, you making us feel the same way little buddy felt when he asked Jennifer to turn back into Jennifer and come out of that hope form. That's how you making us feel, B. Avery.
Yeah,
you're making us feel real small right now with that deep voice.
Oh man.
But that was crazy of him. I'm like, damn, I heard you, Larry, comment on it. I agree with you 100%. That was pretty thought off for him to say that like that.
Yeah, that was giving a whole lot of little penis vibes. You know what I'm saying? A whole lot of little penis vibes. Homeboy was giving. And on BA, when you come in here right as we about to talk about Jen going to that family dinner, and don't they always do some crazy stuff at a family dinner? You're gonna get the first tabs on this from BA. So she goes to the family dinner. We meet her family. Okay, we meet dad, we meet mom, we meet cousin, we meet uncles, we meet a lot of people. Now, the one thing that I want people to understand about this is last week they clearly explained that the Banner family has this gene that meshes well with Banner's blood.
With gamma radiation.
Yes. And you wonder if they was to extract more blood from Jennifer, could it have a similar effect on the rest of the family members? So I'm gonna just throw that out there for you guys to think about.
Have a whole family of Hulks.
Yes. In the beginning, we meet her cousin Chad, who just got a new position and moved up in Best Buy. And this dude is goofy as hell. Dude is at the end of the show talking about he don't understand why people got 4K. And I'm like, bro, you working at Best Buy. So we meet him. We meet mom talking about there's somebody at the coffee shop that wants to meet Jen and he wants to be a hero. And then we meet daddy, who has an asphyxiation with Hawkeye and what he does with his damn arrows after he shoots them. And last but not least, we got Auntie and Uncle, and she went a little racial. I don't know what you would call the term for a superhero show by saying, Jen, let me fix your hair so that when you are regular Jen, it looks the same way it looks when you are She-Hulk. And you know when she's She-Hulk, it's nice and straight, green and black. But when she's Jen, it's kind of coarse, slightly coarse. So B. Avery, I throw all that at you. Pick up anywhere you want to go with this family dinner situation.
Well, like all the Marvel shows, when they get together with the family, that's part of my favorite. Because you can just, relate to the characters the most, because most people do have a family that they can, go lay their head down with, and, God bless those that don't. So that's always a great thing. I liked it in Hawkeye. I liked it in Miss Marvel. I like it here too. This was brief as well. It wasn't as, developed as Miss Marvel, but it was still a cute little scene. And the father and Chad was my favorite. I don't know why you would want to bring it up. Like, hey, I mean, even if there was no discussion of it, that's just something. Why would you say that? That's just crazy. But he got his promotion, like you said. But yeah, it was hilarious. Luckily my parents didn't get in my dating life and try to hook me up like the mom did and giving out phone numbers. And no, I didn't. I know he's too young for you, but he wants to be a superhero, and they're just making assumptions that she just knows all the ins and outs.
Right.
But it kind of makes sense, because like right after this, the father was like, well, it's not like we haven't had a Hulk in the family before. So, we've been around the block, and I kind of forgot about that. But my favorite part was the dad and his fixation on Hawkeye's arrows, because that is a good question, man. Somebody can pick that up off the street, and who knows what they can do with it. And so that's I like how they addressed it. That was just kind of funny. Goodness. So,
but B.A., if you remember in the show Hawkeye did last Christmas, he said what he do with his arrow. He said he go back and pick them up. You're right. You did say that. Yeah, but Jen wouldn't know that. Jen ain't spent no time with them.
Right.
And Larry, I'm gonna toss the ball to you, but I'm gonna kind of remix everything B said. I agree with everything he said. I really enjoyed. I don't want to say Jen is a daddy's girl, but they kind of painted a picture like she's a daddy's girl, because after this, he made an excuse to get her from this table, and they had a little heart to heart. And I enjoyed that dialogue too. And I'll give it to you right there, Big Larry.
Yeah, I did. I enjoyed the fact that he went and pulled her aside and asked her how she was doing. And that's one of those things when I saw him in the garage with her, and he was talking to her. That's one of those conversations. People, and I'm not trying to dog the ladies, not at all. So I know y'all get out there, but when I hear people talk about, I had to be a mother and a father, you're not. And that conversation is one of those conversations you can only have like a father to a daughter. It's just one of those things. It's like, how are you doing? I'm checking in on you. I know I know who you are. And she was like, I'm not okay, but I'm okay with not being okay. But he was just so fine with it. And then he was like, okay, great. Now I have chores for you to do. It was just such a great parental, father-daughter moment. I thought it was hilarious.
I enjoyed it too, man. And I could see myself 50 years from now having similar conversation with Elle when she goes through some of the ups and downs of life. Just encouraging her and letting her know she can get through, believe in yourself, all that kind of stuff. I got speeches ready for her, man. I'm giving them to her now.
Or when she gets her superpowers.
Because
you never know.
Like I said, I want her to be the first black person on the moon. And if not the first black male, first black female. So she's got a room full of space stuff. She jumps off the top of the bunk bed like she's diving off the moon. I have to catch her. So we're going to see what happened with that. Behavior, I'm going to swing back your way on this. We're on the next section now. So Jen gets a job from Mr. Holloway, who runs GLK, just like I said last week. He gives her the job because he's impressed with the way she handled herself in the courtroom. But more importantly, he has an alternative motive. He really wants to use her for the hope, for She-Hulk, for the publicity, and for the new division that they're going to start, which is going to involve her representing superpower people, be they good, be they bad. I'm thinking most of them are going to be bad because I think he is in cahoots with either the Thunderbolts or the Wrecking Crew.
Mm-hmm.
And he brings her to the job and says, you must be She-Hulk. And she enters a room for her new office, B. Avery. And this is when we meet Mr. Casanova Lover. This dude name is Plug. And he has a predilection, B. Avery, a love affair with women that have green panty drawers. He gives her a welcome kit, tells her the best place to go and poop. And we know, if you follow the comments, he was a love interest. His name was Augusta. Up here, they're calling him Pug. What did you think about this new job opportunity for Jen, B. Avery? Uh-oh.
You're muted. I
think you're on mute.
I think she has the best job in heaven because she has a map to the best bathroom in the building. You know, no. On a serious note, that is an important place to. Oh, I didn't even see that, and that's hilarious. That is hilarious. I love Lamont with the
dude won big points right there.
Yeah, because that's important, bro.
Yeah,
it's a throwaway joke, but it is very important because
it is very important. I seen dudes trying to bash him, be every time he has a poop predilection. I said because he showed a female how to get to the best bathroom. Right. That is brownie points. Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
that is big because I don't know if she's still having a cycle. But a lot of women have those, and they want to know where the cleanest bathroom is at because they want the environment to feel clean. So I'm assuming she still has a green cycle, and he wants to get in her green panty drawers and sniff them. So he presents her with some great information.
Yeah, he does, man, because you know, like it's obvious. Nobody wants to blow up the main bathroom. The thing is, everybody poops, but you can still be discriminated against at the work job, at the job place, if you making everybody uncomfortable. I'm serious. I had a job about 8 years ago, and I would hear stories. I'm not going to give any details, but there were stories of a woman that she had a condition, man, and she tore the bathroom up in ways that we don't want to think about, and it rubbed the coworkers the wrong way. So if you can go down the hall a little longer and turn that left and go to the bathroom that's in the corner over there where nobody, that you winning right there. So your boy Pug is winning points right here. I love Nikki. I love Nikki right here. The actress, her paralegal, she's just funny to me. Like, but yes, look what we have. We got big windows. We got a full stock fridge. We got a desk. This is amazing. I don't know. I just love her energy. And I see
legal's fine as hell too.
Yeah, she will get it. She will get it. I didn't want to say nothing, but she will get it. But to be honest with you, I completely understand where women are, not just women, but everybody's coming from as far as like the diversity hire. She only got the job because she's a Hulk. You know, I understand you want to be recognized for your hard work, all the years in school that you went through, those late hours where you were studying for your test and aced it and etc., passing the bar and all that. But still, she's still being hired because she is an attorney. Okay.
Yes.
Just because she's not just being hired because she's a Hulk and can whoop people's ass. I mean, it fits with the job description. This is new. You're new. This is a perfect marriage. And so, and again, I'm not mad at her either for being concerned and bringing it up. You know, like I'm not mad at Jennifer for feeling some type of way, but you know,
I'm mad at Jennifer.
I see both sides. I'm
mad at Jennifer.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why I'm mad at Jennifer.
Let me give you the floor. But let me highlight something from B. Avery. I don't understand where all that came from on the well, B. Avery, because she was not getting no jobs.
Yeah,
you can't say she's a diversity hire when no one's trying to hire her, because the thing that makes her unique from anyone else, and last I heard, I'm not even going to use the term woke. White people done corrupted that word. So when I say woke, I'm talking about those white people that think they woke and their ass is asleep behind the wheel. So for those woke people talking about this is a diversity hire, aren't y'all the same people that is always saying people should be hired based on the skill set they bring to the job? Is there any other female that is a She-Hulk and a lawyer? The answer is no.
Right.
So her skill set brings her to the job.
Exactly.
And on top of that, the type like B. Avery said, Larry, the division that she's representing, she might have to put them She-Hulk skills to use to put people at bay. So stop that.
And as long as they're a superhero, she'll always have a job. So
always. Yes.
I'll tell you why I have beef with her. Because one, she's an attorney. She should have some negotiating skills. She didn't even talk about pay before she took that job. And it's just like you said, how many female Hulks in the world are there?
Yes.
One. Just one. She should have told them, make me an offer. And whatever they offered her, she should have just said, triple it. That's my salary.
Right.
And if you think you can find another forget about superpowered, forget about how many female Hulks are there. Female Hulk attorneys. How many superpowered people are there? Period.
Yes. It's only 2.
Period.
Right.
But not a woman. The other one's not a woman.
How much you think she was getting paid, Larry? Or she should
not enough.
Well, how much? Like $350-$400 an hour?
That's not enough.
That's not enough.
No, that's probably a firm like that. That firm's probably billing her out at probably like $850 an hour.
At B. Avery, at best, she making $250K at best a year.
Oh, of course, yeah, that's well over.
She's running a division. I would negotiate already. If I'm coming in there and I'm coming in saying I'm coming in not as an associate or anything. I'm coming in as a partner. I'm running this division. I'm coming in as a partner. I want a base of at least $750, maybe a cool meal plus whatever share I get from being a partner. I'm coming in because otherwise what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and put my old shingle out there and I'm going to start my own practice. And as soon as people realize you can hire She-Hulk, it's not going to take but a second for her practice to blow all the way up.
Especially super powered people. You know what I'm saying? That's and Larry's point is correct. And I wonder, was Marvel trying to make that point? Because there's those woke people I just got finished talking about don't understand that there is a pay gap between men and women. And the reason there's a pay gap is exactly what Jen just did. Most women don't negotiate their pay the way men do. That's where one of the places that pay gap comes in. And so I wonder what she should have done was be like, look, when she found out that he wants her to be Hulk all the time, when in her heart, she wanted to be Jen. Yeah. Even though she said she was agnostic about it, for those of you that don't know, meaning she's in the middle. She don't have a feeling one way or the other one. She should have been like, basically, you're hiring 2 of me.
Right.
Either I'm going to get paid a base salary of $1 million or you're going to pay me for 2. You understand what I'm saying? You won't pay me for 2.
And recruiters, guys, when they make offers to you, they are surprised when you don't counter. If you don't counter at least once, they will never tell you that. But if you don't do it at least one time, they're surprised by that. And they're like, oh, okay.
Fact. Yeah, I feel I just that to me there's the not negotiating thing, and the fact that she, when he came in, he said, and once she got there, and he was like, "Oh yeah, by the way, I expect you to be Hulk all the time while you're at work." I'm thinking to myself, that's the moment where you simply say, "We didn't discuss that. That wasn't part of the deal. If that's what you want, you can have it, but we're gonna have to go ahead. You're gonna have to pay for it."
Yeah. And then he up here he not only that, but he said out of his own mouth, we're gonna ride the shit out of publicity on you being She-Hulk. Be angry. He said it.
Yeah,
Larry didn't.
I would. See, this is one of those times. This is one of those times when she really needs like a corporate headhunter in there working on her behalf. She practically needs an agent because she needs somebody in there saying, not only are you gonna pay me now you're going to pay me a premium because I am the lonely only, but also you're going to pay me extra because I want to make sure I have an allowance for my, for my wardrobe, because I'm going to need a full wardrobe for both Jen and for She-Hulk. You're going to need to go take all this little raggedy ass furniture up out of here and get me some Hulk approved reinforced furniture, And
now she did do one thing, Larry and B. Avery. In her negotiation, she did make sure she did exactly what I would do. She took care of her homegirl, her best friend, a paralegal. She brought her along for the ride.
Right.
Yeah, to me, that would have been just a given.
Right.
That
was funny. He was like, I truly don't give a crap.
Yeah, this would have been, this is my paralegal. It's either we roll together. That's just what it is.
And look, you saw how he was like, I don't give a F.
Right. That was funny. He was like, I truly don't care who your paralegal is.
Yeah.
By the way, shout out to Ania Matthews, feeling the Better Call Saul vibes from the show. I read an excerpt where the writers took a lot of inspiration from two shows. Better Call Saul is one of them, and The Amazing Ms. Maisel was the other one. So you got the elements of Better Call Saul and the comedic relief of Ms. Maisel, and I can kind of see that. I like it. I can kind of see. Cool. I'm getting with it. So now, B. Avery, I'm back to you on this one, my brother. Now we're getting into what they really wanted her to do. So they call her in to go talk to this dude, B. Avery. This is Emil Blonsky, okay?
Yes.
Now, nobody ain't know Emil Blonsky could transform from Abomination back to Emil Blonsky. This raises a huge damn quagmire, ladies and gentlemen, because I'm going to play this for B. Avery. I already played it for Larry. Now, B. Avery, you should know Larry is 100% on the side of Emil Blonsky. 100%. If the same way he feels about Killmonger, he feels 100 times more about Emil Blonsky.
Wow.
So take a look at Larry's case, and you know what, B. Avery? I hate to admit it. But this time, I'm with Larry after you listen to this.
Yeah, because they pumped me full of that super soldier serum.
Serum the government gave you caused your subsequent actions?
I was a highly decorated soldier. You know, I was sent on a mission to take out a threat. And I thought I was the good guy. I thought I was going to be, you know, Captain Bloody America. Very threat. Your cousin is held up as some kind of hero.
B. Avery, that's a compelling case, B. Avery. You got to admit.
Yeah, of course it is. I agree with this case 95%. I'm not 100%, but it makes perfect sense. I didn't think of that until he said it out. When the first time I saw it, I was like, well, damn. It makes sense right there. You know what I'm saying? Like, there you go, right there. You know, so he can, I mean, there's been no studies on this. It was all experimental and hidden and underground, you know, so who knows what the side effects are. He's like, I have it worse than Bruce. I got his blood plus this. So I'm hella messed up. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, but I still feel like he's full of crap, though. I feel like he still had control in Harlem. I think that he is, even though he makes a good case, I still think he's pulling the fast one. And he could, I'm pretty sure he can break out of there if he wanted to. I think he's just trying to get on the good side of society, have a nice light shine upon him, because he destroyed the damn town, you know, viciously. So he probably got some message from the Thunderbolt lady, like, hey, just play it cool, play dumb, you know, as soon as you get out, we're going da and take out the Avengers. So yeah, his case does make 100% sense. And a valid argument, but I think he's still pulling the fast one on us and lying, kind of like how Howard was pretending like he lost his memory, but he really remembered who shot him. Same thing over here, you know. So yeah, that's where I'm.
I love how he kept on talking about my 7 friends or associates are gonna got me a nice big piece of land that I'm gonna go to, and I'm like, this dude keeps talking about the 7 rings. He keeps talking about that.
His pen pals, Larry. Those are his pen pals. That was funny. And I'm going to kick it to you, Larry. I agree with everything B. Avery said, but here's the problem. There's 2 people in this one person. And I do think that one of them is telling the truth. But the one that's telling the truth is the one that's less of a threat to deal with. So, Larry, having said that, putting that bug in your ear, the floor is yours, man. Talk about this conversation with Jen. And he honestly came out and said, Larry, he's remorseful. He's sorry. He wrote everybody a haiku. And Larry, let me tell the people what a haiku is, because some people, we educate people on this show because we do have little people watching us.
Right.
A haiku is a Japanese poetry, often containing, in English, a total of 17 syllables shared between 3 lines that are arranged in a pattern of 5, 7, 5. Which correlates to a comic, and I'm gonna keep it at that. The first line consists of 5 syllables, the second line 7, and the last line contains 5 syllables. When Larry is done, I'll talk about how people miss this Easter egg for someone that they clearly put in this story as an Easter egg later. Floor is yours, Larry.
Yeah, I mean, the problem I think a lot of people have is when they look at all this, is that people are working from the position that the U.S. is the good guys, and that's just not always the case. And so when you see what's going on, and you see the fact that the dudes up there talking about they pumped him through all this serum and they had him doing all this different stuff, it's sort of like even when they showed him, when they showed him at the at the fight club and at the fight club fighting Wong, and it's one of those things, like they knew he was gone. It wasn't like he just escaped and was, and was just, someone helped him get out, and they knew he was gone and he came back. So it wasn't like he was just doing bad. I wouldn't be at all surprised if he was forced to be there. I wouldn't be at all surprised if the government made him go there and fight. Okay. I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying the dude's clean, I'm not saying he's clean, but I'm just going to say there's other people that are dirty right along with him. And so he doesn't deserve all the blame for everything, but I don't know.
And I want them to better explain like him being able to transform back and forth, because Bruce needed a device.
Thank you.
That got destroyed. And so I don't want them to just brush over that. That'll be annoying to me.
Meditation.
That's kind of whack.
So I think that we can trust Blonsky, but we can't trust Abomination. We can't. And the part that Larry was just talking about with Wong, and he feels like there's a conspiracy, I'm gonna explain that in the end when we get to it. I think right here in this moment, Emil Blonsky is being as genuine as he possibly can be. But because I know what else is within him, I wouldn't trust him no further than I can throw him. Nope, wouldn't do it. I wouldn't
be at all surprised if he just didn't break out. I wouldn't be at all surprised if it wasn't the government that broke him out. Maybe what's her name took him out. Maybe what's her name?
Val.
Yeah, maybe she took him out.
For sure, Larry. Val and or the Wrecking Crew is going to have something to do with what's going on with Blonsky. Definitely is going to have something to do with that. And for those of you who don't know, like I said, this is the Abomination from the original Hulk movie in 2008 that started the MCU. Y'all be trying to take credit away from that being the movie that got the MCU started. So, what do we have here? Jessica decides she can't take this assignment. She's intrigued by it, but she can't do it until she clears it with old cousin Banner. B. Avery, I give it to you right there. Talk to me about the conversation with cousin Banner, and Banner following my theory, going all the way to Sakaar and out of space. Look like he is about to go get his children and find out he's a baby daddy.
I am praying that is not true. I really don't want to see the son of the Hulk right now. I'm nervous. It's crazy. This dude got a nice signal too on that ship.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, who's your carrier?
Thank you. Like, bro, that's one of them Tony Stark phones, okay? Yeah. Like, he can jump through a wormhole. He's still going to get connection. You know what I'm saying?
Right. But, granted, I'm in his defense, the Hulk is smart. He in his smartest state right here, and he is on an alien ship. So, and he does look comfortable. So I'm pretty sure. And, he was on Sakaar for the longest. So he probably got the technology, figured out. Or whatever, he probably pinging off the ship or something like that. But I didn't notice it. But I wonder if we're going to see the Hulk again in this series. I don't know. Who knows? I really hope it's not some. I just want to see the Hulk. I don't want to see that right now. I don't do the Hulk right first. Excuse me, and then we can bring all these extra, more derivative characters in. And so we got this rumor that Marvel may get the rights back next June, or hopefully so. But I hope we don't see the sun thing. That's all I got to say.
Larry, to B. Avery's point, B. Avery, we're not going to see the sun no time soon. I'm just what I'm gonna tell you what we're going to see. You're going to see some Marvel movies because what's happening with Banner is going to be going on in the storyline of the movies. And what you're going to see is at least 1 or 2 post credits or mid credits that's going to be him doing something. You know, that's what you're going to see. And the build up to them doing a story with him and his son is probably going to be over the course of the next 2 phases, which I think eventually when they get the rights back, they're going to start writing World War Hulk. He's probably going to be after the Kang Dynasty, and then after they do whatever they want to do with Galactus. So having said that, Larry, how did you feel about this conversation? And guess what, Larry? Just for you, I got the clip of it. Here we go.
What'd they end up naming you anyway?
She-Hulk? Don't.
That's got a nice ring to it. She-Hulk, attorney at law.
You coming to LA anytime soon?
Yeah, probably not for a minute. I got some things I gotta take care of.
Whoa. Whoa, I got so many questions I got to ask y'all about that scene. I got so many questions. Go ahead, Larry. What'd you think?
I'll tell you, on one end, I'm glad that he's off and gone because I feel like they can't have her show be her show if he shows up every episode. But on the other end, one of my favorite parts about this show so far has been their relationship. The way they play off each other back and forth has just been a lot of fun, and I like that. And so I'm gonna miss the fact that he's gone for a while. I mean, maybe they'll bring him back at the end of the season, but on the other end, I feel like if they're gonna have him, they might as well have just called it something else besides She-Hulk. But I mean, she's a derivative of him, so it's not like he's ever gone. Every time you look at her, you're looking at him. So, you know.
I'm with that. So the questions I have about this, and of course, Banner gave his blessing for Jen to do her thing. And he also said that Blonsky sent him the haiku and the apology. Sent him all that good stuff. And funny. Because he's not the other guy, which was literally a reference to the other actor playing Hulk back in the day, because he's not the other guy, he's in a better place and all that. The questions I have is, okay, first of all, how did the ship find you? And for what technology is on you that the ship can they read gamma signals? How did the ship find you? Next, how did you get on this ship? Did you contact them? Are you keeping something a secret? And you guys, like B. Avery said, his feet is thrown up. He's chilling. He actually seems like he's kind of in a good mood talking to Jen about what's going on. And I'm in here looking through this picture for clues. I don't know if they made his ass a new security guard, which I doubt, or is he looking at some data, some gene genetics about, Maury Povich. The DNA test reveals you are the father. And that's what he's looking at on that computer screen. So I posed the question to you guys, B. Avery. Where or what is he going to be doing on Sakaar?
I don't know. I heard somebody else say this, and I hope this is true. This is much better than him, finding out he is a daddy and finding the son. Is that Sakaar is being taken over or attacked, and they need somebody strong to come back and whoop ass. I'm cool with that. Other than that,
Larry, all theories are good. That could be it, but I'm thinking he's going back for the baby. And B. Avery, that theory could be smashed in with him en route to his son. Someone could literally be taking over Sakaar. I tell you what would be great TV or movie. If they finally, because you guys remember on Sakaar, they had that big, gorgeous column that had the heads of all these gladiators. Okay. What would be very, very funny if they made a story where Beta Ray Bill was back beating the hell out of everybody so we could finally get that fight, Hulk and Beta Ray Bill, only to find out they're working for the same good. Maybe Beta Ray Bill done lost his planet and his people need to go stay somewhere and they want to stay on Sakaar, whatever the case may be. And at the end of the movie, we find out Banner made a seed. Larry, that make everybody happy. B. Avery do not want to have no children.
No.
Children are a beautiful thing, man. Sometimes they want to kiss you, and then sometimes they do you like my baby did me tonight. No, Dad, I don't want you to kiss me.
It's just too soon for me. Let's
it's too soon. How long do you want to wait?
B. Avery, it's not going to happen soon. This is going to be within the next 10 years.
Yeah, let it happen at the end of the 10 years.
I believe they're going to sunset Mark Ruffalo's run within the next 6 years, because my man is like 51 or something right now.
I'm okay with them rushing through some stuff because they have so much content. They can rush through stuff and still put out a movie every 6 months for the rest of our lives and have more to go. I'm okay with it. I'm okay if they rush through it.
Okay. Yep. Me too. But let me ask you this, B. Avery, would you be okay that if you got all the knowledge of what's going on just through post credits and weaved into certain stories, would that satisfy you? So they're really not giving you everything. They're just kind of keeping you on a 10-year tease.
No, wait. Why would I want it in a post credit scene?
Not the whole thing, but they put ideas of what could be happening, but could be left up to whatever interpretation you want. I mean, hell, they did that with Thanos for damn near 10 years.
I mean, but leading to what though? Hulk and his son?
Hulk, World War Hulk. And along the way,
I want them to, I want them to draw that out. I want as much details as possible. Hulk has not had any justice in the MCU except, he hasn't had any. We need to draw this out. Movies, television shows. I don't know. That's just where I'm at,
That's going to be at the end of 10 years, my man. When they finally get the rights back and they get the stories together, I'm telling you, Hulk is going to be the most menacing villain of everything we about to see. He's going to be worse than Thanos because they hear you, B. Avery. Hulk is one of my favorites.
My thing
is,
a
lot of people.
Just chill. There's so many other characters that you can focus on. And instead of giving him a little cameos here and there, just wait until you have everything back. And you have other characters. You just stall. You have other characters that you can deal with until you get full control of that character.
We'll see. So Jen takes the job. She calls little buddy, lets him know that she's going to take the job. He's elated. She's thrilled. But then he tells her to watch the damn news. And this is where I'm going to give you guys the theory I was talking about. She turns on the news and they show Abomination fighting. And we all know this was from Shang-Chi when he was fighting. I'm going to give this to you first, B. Avery. So Larry made a great argument that he believes that, Wong, maybe someone with magic, whoever, or the government forced him to go to an underground fight and fight for sport, thrill, blood. My theory, B. Avery, that this is a variant of Abomination and is not the Abomination from the 616. Floor is yours, B. Avery.
I disagree with that 100%, that it's a variant. I think that's our Abomination from the 616. And I mean, it does have to do with that was in the trailers that Wong, went and got him. So that's not even a spoiler. It's they already released that. I think I saw that. So, and I did hear Larry's theory earlier. I agree that he left because he was forced. He didn't just escape. And so I think that's going to be the defense right there. But looking forward to it though.
Me too. What you got, Larry?
Yeah, here's the only thing. This is the only problem. I think he was probably, I don't think he just escaped. I think he was let out or forced out, whatever, and made to fight. But at the same time, I mean, if we remember that scene in Shang-Chi when he got hit, when they were backstage, he said something to him about him, like, man, you need to pull your punches more. Like, it hurt, which kind of sounds like, okay, well, he's there. Maybe he's there of his own, of his own accord, because he didn't seem like he was angry that he was there. He was just sort of there. But maybe they told him, like, this is your choice. Sit up in this cell, or you can come here and you can fight. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how it all plays out. But I'm glad they had the Shang-Chi tie-in early.
I'm here for it.
Maybe we'll get Shang-Chi in there too.
I'm here for it all, man. I'm here for it all. Now we pretty much to the post credits and all the things they do with these kind of cartoon credit scenes at the end. I've already showed you this one. Not really an Easter egg, but just showing you the map, you know. And I guarantee y'all, Pug's office is somewhere near one of them bathrooms. How much y'all want to bet? He's going to be somewhere near one of them bathrooms. Probably every time he see Jen, he's going to pop out of his office and going to have an issue. I bet you that. 100%. That's what's going to happen. But then they also show this, and this is Jen's phone, and you know she's trying to find a boyfriend, she's dating or what may have you. The thing I think is kind of representative of this is,
was that a Shield logo on there?
It's not on the phone. Her phone, this is her Tinder profile.
File.
Yeah, on the file. Yeah, that's Shield.
Yeah.
The type of cats that would be after her are somebody we've seen from Hawkeye's show, the Tracksuit Mafia. That's the type of dudes that go after these superpowered women. Mm-hmm. And at some point in time, we already done seen in the trailer, we're going to see them at some point in time in this show. And so I think that somehow or another, they might be wind up luring Jen through her Tinder app, because she even said it in this episode. She's lonely. She wants love. When her parents text her to come visit her, and we got a chance to see, this was funny. We saw her lock screen, ladies and gentlemen. The chick is in love with Captain America's ass. That is America's ass right there on her lock screen. Captain America. So, B. Avery, do you think there's a chance that the Tracksuit Mafia might try to get their clutches in Jen through her Tinder dating app?
I don't think it'll be the Tracksuit Mafia. I think it'll be another group.
Okay. The Wrecking Crew, maybe?
Yeah.
Maybe the Wrecking Crew?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm with that. Definitely, I'm with that. Larry, what you think? You think the Wrecking Crew, Tracksuit Mafia, and what do you think about her asphyxiation on Steven Rogers' ass?
Hard
to ask a brother a question like that, huh?
I'll tell you, you know, on one end, it's funny. You see this superhero that's supposed to be, you know, she's supposed to be somewhat of a liberated woman and all this. And I heard some people saying that it was too woke for her, that this show is too woke for them and all that. But I feel like in some sense, it's not woke at all. It's like, here you have this woman on some respects who's being sort of demeaned in all kinds of ways, you know. In one sense, her whole existence is a derivative of another man, and then you know, you have her boss that just hires her to be the Hulk. And the way he said it, it was really sort of like, you need to turn into the 7'6" sex bombshell that you are. So do that now if you want this job. It was sort of like, you know, used to hear about these women saying, if you want to keep your job, this is what you have to do to keep it. And that's kind of what it sounded like in a lot of ways.
Not to mention the aunt demeaning her hair, saying you need to fix your hair so that it looks more like the She-Hulk.
Yeah, and then so much of the story is, you know, it seems like she's lonely. She wants to find a man. I feel like it just fails the Bechdel test horribly. You know, this whole series just fails it horribly. It's still good. I mean, as a guy, I can enjoy it. As a woman, I can see where I would be watching this show and cringing. You know?
Yeah. Well, you know, they're building her up. She don't want these powers. She don't want these. It's like, this is not the life she wanted. Her hand just got forced to doing something she really doesn't want to do. And I think oftentimes when we as human beings, regular people, when we're tasked with a choice and we got to do things we don't want to do, we usually come kicking and screaming in the beginning. Like, hell, like right now I'm dieting. Do I really want to be dieting? No. Like, I'm kicking and screaming. I don't want to be dieting, but I know at the end of the day, it's going to help me. Problem is, me dieting is a choice. She doesn't have a choice. She's been forced to do what she's doing. And so
I don't know, though, because she's been saying this whole time, the last 2 episodes, how she has a choice, how she's able to change at will. Just because you have this in you does not mean that you have to use it, especially since she can so willingly and easily control it. You know, it's just like if somebody says, I can flick a switch and become an asshole real quick. And I mean, you can choose to do that, or you can choose not to do that.
She got to pay a bill, though.
I was about to say, Larry.
Yeah, but she's a lawyer, bro. She is a bard
to make money.
She is a bard lawyer. She is a bard lawyer.
The story showed that she can't get a job right now, Larry, as Jen.
She has six figures. She has 6 figures of college debt.
She can still get a job, man. Here's the thing. She is a lawyer. She was working before, and she has trial experience. Most lawyers do not have any trial experience. She is a valuable asset on her own.
Larry, they had a montage of her trying to do that exact thing, and she didn't get a job.
She can't get no job.
I know. So she looked for a job for about 3-4 days, and she couldn't get a job. So what? All of a sudden, I have to give up and go work as the Hulk?
Yeah, that's what she did. That's what she did.
That's like a regular chick saying, "Well, I went and looked for a job for 3-4 days. I couldn't find one, so now I'm heading to the pink."
Come on. You don't know it was only 3 or 4 days.
Yeah, we don't know that.
It was a montage.
We really don't. It was a
montage. But let me ask you.
What time frame do you think it might have been?
It could have been months. It could have been months. It could have been weeks.
I don't think it was months. I think it was somewhere like between about a month. But we don't know. We don't know.
Did y'all talk about the Wolverine Easter egg?
Oh no, I'm saving that for last. I'm saving all that for last. Saving that for last. So here we to it now, basically. Anyway, B. Avery, do y'all have anything snazzy y'all want to say about Chad, the cousin, who couldn't put up a TV but says I could put up the TV? You could have got me to do that. I'm thinking, hell, you work at Best Buy, but at the same time, you can't even change a tire, and you out here talking about you don't understand 4K. And Dad got Jen doing all the handiwork, bringing in water and stuff. B, anything special to say about this post credit?
No, that's just a lot of water.
Larry,
you got anything special to say about the post credit?
Yeah, I thought these post credit scenes were hilarious because it's I'll tell you, there is something special about when your father calls you to ask for help. Like if anybody who knows, because your dads are different sometimes. Moms may call you and ask for help quick, but when your dad calls you and asks for help for something, especially something physical, it's something special about it. I think that's what he was doing for her. I think she was, he could have went and grabbed those water bottles. He might have had to grab 1 by 1 or 2 by 2, but he could have got them right there. And they could have easily used a jack on the car. They just decided to go ahead and do that right there. I just thought it was funny.
Yeah, just a little display of her power. That's it. A little display how things that are big for us, they're simple for her. And another showing of just how dumb this cousin is, which means they're going to do something with the cousin. So just get ready for that, ladies and gentlemen. He might get some superpowers. Just be ready for that.
Every time they put somebody out there that we think is super dumb, turns out not to be.
Right. So, ladies and gentlemen, we've got the Easter egg time now. And you could have really had one clip that showed you all the Easter eggs, except for the one that a lot of people missed. Now, B. Avery, you wasn't here when you was here when I talked about the haiku and the definition of a haiku. So in this show, we did have a big Wolverine Easter egg, but I felt like they was too. And with the haiku being Japanese, it brings up Wolverine's past, who trained Wolverine to be a soldier. Someone else in the MCU had adamantium claws. That was Japanese. And that, my friend, was Lady Deathstrike, who wound up killing her daddy. Her daddy trained Wolverine. Her daddy was the one who figured out how you can bond adamantium to bones and gave it to Wolverine, and she killed the daddy for that. She was mad about that forever, and her and Logan supposed to have kind of been dating when she was getting trained. And guess who said a haiku to Yuriko? Her real name is Yuriko. Old Logan said a haiku to Yuriko. And after she went through a transformation, talked to a witch like Wanda, she changed half her body to a cyborg. She went and got adamantium, took over her dad's dynasty, and was chasing Wolverine ever since. And in the new iteration of how the story went, she started working with these super teams to chase Wolverine. B. Avery, you know this one real good. You remember Hulk versus Wolverine?
Oh, yes.
Lady Deathstrike was in there working with Weapon X, Omega Red,
Was that from
Sabretooth.
Earth's Mightiest Heroes?
No. This was a standalone cartoon. It was Hulk versus Thor, Hulk versus Wolverine. Came out like 2009. You need to check it out. Oh yeah, you need to check it out. That thing go hard. And in Weapon X, she was really just, man, she was going for Wolverine some kind of hard. Even getting pleasure out of hearing the man scream as she stuck her adamantiums that retract into the man and was about to stick it in his head. And then basically Hulk came and saved him. B. Avery, are you ready to see Yuriko, Lady Deathstrike in the MCU?
Man, that was a lot, Lamont. But yeah, I mean, sure.
Y'all got me for. That's what y'all got me for.
This dude went all the way through the rabbit hole to the other universe. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was just thinking we was gonna talk about the internet posting, but yeah, I'm ready. Hell yeah, I'm ready to see all of this. I wonder how they're gonna do it, man, because this history is just so rich and deep, and so
God, it's good.
It's just like if all this is going on, it's like where y'all been this whole time. So. I mean, if we're gonna be seeing all that, man, it's definitely gonna have to carry into the first mid-credit scene of Multiverse of Madness, where Clea and Strange was like, "Oh yeah, you created an incursion," because some universes are gonna have to combine somehow to bring it. Just So I'm here for it, man. It's going down. And Larry, yeah, man, you got to check that out, bro. They came out at the same. It's a Hulk versus Thor and a Hulk versus Wolverine. Yeah, that came out like 08, 09 or something like that. So yeah,
09, Larry, it go.
I'm not
hard.
seeing it.
It go hard, Larry.
I'm not seeing it on Disney Plus.
And you know what, Larry? They even went a little bit into the background of the love affair between Logan and Yuriko. A little bit. Now, if you want to get a further background to Logan and Yuriko, you would have to go watch the original X-Men. Because in that, when the aliens came to Earth and you had the spirit sucker, they really went into her background. Wolverine could have killed her in the cartoon. He didn't. He saved her. So that's a big part of his lure. And let us not forget, when did they drop Wolverine into the Marvel Comics? The first time we ever seen Wolverine was in a Hulk movie. A Hulk comic. That was the first time we ever got a Wolverine. And then shortly after that, they did his run with Yuriko. So it kind of ties together. Thoughts on it, Larry? You ready for Yuriko?
Yeah, bring it. Bring it. In fact, if you're going to bring in Wolverine, how about bringing the other X-Men too? Just bring them all.
Oh, they bringing them all in, man.
They need to hurry up because some of us are tired of waiting on it. I know B thinks stuff happens too fast sometimes. I'm tired of damn waiting.
And last but definitely not least, ladies and gentlemen, what B. Avery was talking about, the newspaper clipping that had at least 5 or 6 Easter eggs on it right by its damn self. So you had them talking about the Swiss Village and the mascot. A lot of us think that they're kind of alluding to the villain that was in Civil War. They think we're alluding to him. And the other thing that some people might miss, that it looks like they're going to put this in every episode, that QRS code that's up there in the corner. You guys see that QRS code beside the word start?
Mm-hmm.
You scan that and you get this comic right from the website.
Put it back up there. Let me see.
Yeah. Okay, let me put it back up there.
Yeah, let me do it too. Hold on.
Yeah. Go and scan it.
Hold on, let me just scan.
Take your time. Take your time. Y'all fellas scan it. Get yourself that free comic. Marvel must got a lot of money.
Okay, mine won't scan. Come on now.
I know, mine's not scanning either. I'm gonna have to go watch it again. I'm gonna see if I can get it on the big screen.
Slow it on the big screen. So you've got that where you can get this free issue of the comics. But the one that had everybody buzzing was this thing right here. Man fights with metal claws in a bar.
In bar brawl, yeah. Did you see the one right below it though?
I got that one too, but let me explain this one first. Dang, man, slow down. This you said you want to X-Men.
I'm sorry. The only reason why that got me is because that headline right below was the related article thing. That was more interesting than the entire Eternals movie. But go ahead.
Larry, that's disrespectful. That's disrespectful. Because what they're going to talk about next is dealing with that's disrespectful.
But it's true.
That's disrespectful. But anyway, this guy, when they talk about the man fighting in the bar, Larry, when we first saw the X-Men, the first X-Men movie on big screen, that's what Wolverine was doing. He was fighting in the bar. Yeah. That come right from the very first movie. And then we get on down here to what Larry's talking about. Why is there a giant statue of a man sticking out of the ocean? And they're talking about the Celestials, the one that's in the ocean. So they finally done let us know that this is all in the same universe. It's around the same timeline. And then last but not least, I've already showed you guys this, the QRS code. But you also see at the top, they're talking about Norse mythology. That's Thor. Because, you know, in Scandinavia to this day, if you go talk to a native Scandinavian, they'll tell you that they believe in Odin as their god and Thor was his son. And Loki was the mischievous son, always trying to basically Loki is their devil in essence, if I'm breaking this down. So that's still a thing over there. And then you see them talking about the Avengers right beside it. And then we go back up to here, they're talking about Iron Man 3. So B. Avery, which of these Easter eggs did you enjoy the most, or did you like any of them?
I like them all, especially the Iron Man 3s. If they really, no, I'm just playing. I would probably buy them more. But yeah, I mean, a lot of people have been complaining about there's been no mention of the Celestial hanging out the Indian Ocean. I really don't understand that argument, because it's like, why would they bring, given what other characters had to do in their films and television shows, why would they bring it up? I mean, this could have happened months afterwards. But I am glad they addressed it here, though, the way they did it too, because nobody knows the answer to that. Nobody knows. It's just nothing but speculation, you know, unless they have a conference with an Eternal, which didn't happen. And so I know Arsham didn't come down and be like, oh yeah, let me explain to you what's going on with my child that I planted 1 million years ago. No, so I like, because what it is it's kind of like a tabloid link, but at the same time valid, because I mean you have evidence it's actually sticking out. So I like how they threw that in there like that. I think that's perfect.
I loved it. What you got, Larry?
That was the one that got me too. That was the one I thought that was funny. That just that little bit right there was better than the entire Eternals movie.
Come on, man.
Boo. Tomato.
Man. Come on, man. Wow, this guy. Larry, tell us what you really feel, man. Tell us what you really feel.
I did like that. I thought that one was fantastic. I need to look out for these QR codes. That's the second one you brought up, and I missed them both. I'm gonna have to go back and watch. So
to be honest with you, because the show is so short, it's not that hard to edit. To be honest with you, it don't take no time to edit this show and really sit there, go through it almost line by line, just because it's so short. How are you guys feeling about that? Are you guys okay with it being like 30 minutes, or do you wish you was getting more? How do you guys feel about that?
Needs to be longer.
Yeah, I feel like I watched it again actually twice tonight, and I put it on once, and for some reason I thought to myself, wait, did I miss something? I didn't leave the room. I was cooking, but I was like, did I miss a whole bunch of it when I was cooking? Did the time just go past? And I looked at my watch. I was like, no, it's just over. And I put it on again. I watched it twice, and I was like, "This is just really too short." Like that should, like I feel like these episodes, like the early episodes, 'cause I think it's gonna be 9 episodes. I feel like the first 4 at least, or maybe the first 5. Maybe the first 5 should be like 40 minutes, and then they should get progressively longer. Maybe like 45, 48. You know, and then they should end up to like a finale that gives us like a good 60, 65 minutes.
Okay. All right. So, well, ladies and gentlemen, be sure to go back, scan this QRS code, and get your She-Hulk comic. First issue, coming through the brick wall, almost the same way she came through that courtroom. Be sure to subscribe to Larry's channel. His link is in the description. Be sure to subscribe to B. Avery's channel. B. Avery is going live Sunday, his time. You might see me there.
We had a good time this last Sunday talking about Game of Thrones. What is it? Not Game of Thrones, but House of Dragon.
And it'll be at 6 o'clock, not 6:30, because of House of Dragons. I'm moving it up 30 minutes while this show is on. Premiering at 8. So. Right. I can't be having a stream during the most popular television show in history. That wouldn't make sense.
In history. Yeah,
10 million,
man.
10 million. That's crazy. I want to see what the
10
fall off
million.
is this week. If people really, because that's going to say
Right.
whether or not people really liked it or not.
Right.
Be sure to download the podcast, my people. That is me and my podcast, and you can catch this show up there. Now, I am trying to start doing me a Game of Thrones tour. So one reason I'm trying to do a little bit more on other people's channels because I just can't fit everything in on my channel. You see, my daughter really doesn't let me too far to her site. So you'll catch me doing some cameos with some people over the next couple of weeks. B. Avery is going to be one of them, but he's a mainstay. And this Friday at 10 p.m. Eastern, I'll be doing a Game of Thrones talk with Nita the Diva. Nita the Diva. That's what I'll be doing it with. So don't forget to like the video, comment, subscribe, get that life gain. Follow us good brothers as we go all over the place trying to help folks build their YouTubes, make YouTube interesting, and most importantly, make sure we can entertain you, our adoring fans. We'll see you next time.